Hello and welcome back to Songs of Six. Now, last episode I took in way too many people. That is sort of my bad, but it is what it is. And now we have one fish to feed the entire town with. Luckily, if you ever find yourself starving, I think I already said this, but you can just go into hunt, find the nearest patch of animals. These sheep should do. They don't really offer too much meat, but it should be enough to get us through. I don't recommend killing the whole patch so they can reproduce eventually. Just take as much as you need. So now people should come over, drag their bodies, and probably the other meat is getting eaten straight away. I think we only need to hold off. We only need to hunt until we get a harvest in, which just came through. So we should be fine for now. And as well as last time, I've started training a small army, mostly rangers, as we don't really have any armor that we can give to melee people or soldiers. And they have, well, I've set them to have 10% melee training and 50% archery training, which should be enough to hold off any like small raids. Which I think we've actually managed to scare the bandit that was trying to attack us off last time. Because now they're in hiding now, so they don't have the strength to attack us. So investing into the training ground was a good choice, in my opinion. And we also managed to finally dig through the mountain to the iron deposit, which we can start working now. But in order to work iron, we will need coal, which we could find a coal deposit, or we could just make charcoal. And I would think I'd rather opt the charcoal, as the only coal deposit we have, from what I can see, is all the way up here, and it doesn't seem very large either. And actually, there's one more in this mountain up here, which it's too far away to be practical. So for that, we will need to make a charcoaler. However, before I even start on metallurgy in that industry, we need food security. It's not looking good. I'm gonna be for real. Now, one thing that we could do is we could plant another vegetable farm in order to stop starvation for just a little while longer. Now, where am I farming vegetables? Fruits, grain. Up north, yep. Back to vegetable. The search like function is super handy. It saves you from digging through a million menus. Just to like lay the farm out along the river. And just a few more tiles. I mean, we can get like a lot more tiles until we just hit like about 2.9 farmers. That should be efficient enough. And that is way too much. Just take one row off. Well, that's sort of perfect. We can probably squeeze in a few tiles down here. Oh, that's perfect right there. 2.99. Can't get it more efficient than that. And they'll start building. Hopefully the grain harvest kicks in soon, as we have 1 day of food. The grain harvest will be massive. There we go, it just kicked in. So actually, we might be fine on food. We might have just had a little moment of insecurity. But it's better to be safe than sorry. There's not always animals you can just farm by. So yeah, bread is slowly coming in. It's good actually. There's also way more grain that's just been harvested down there. So actually, I think we can work on the charcoaler. Get it down. It's quite luckily this game doesn't really have a system of dirty industry, which people don't want to live by, I think. As far as I'm aware, I might be completely wrong. But for now, if we just get 3 employees making charcoal, that should be plenty. We also get a little storage for them. And an auxiliary, just to make them work better. And double door. It's perfect. Now, I think we are extracting clay, but we are turning into pots, which I might suspend for the time being, so that we can get the clay to build the Charcoal. Where is my pottery? Here. I'm going to spend this for the time being. So all clay should go into the construction of charcoal. Also, fun tip. I probably for my first like 20 hours I didn't know about this. I know it says it right here, but if you click it once it's 25. If you double click it's 250, which is a huge increase for the speed. For example, moments like now where we just need to work. Wait, oh, and food is gone once again, which is a problem to say the least. However, we can probably cheese it one more time through hunting. They should have. Oh, I can't speak. I'll have to get rid of most of the herd this time, just to survive. And there we go. We have a lot of meat now. Should get us through quite a while. We need 2 more clay. Just gotta wait on that. Actually, we need 7 clay. I cannot count. Now we need 2 more clay. There we go. That should be getting built now. Therefore, I can probably assign people back to the pottery. I'll probably only go with 2 people as we don't even have enough clay production to employ more. And now these guys take wood and just turn it into charcoal. That's what you would expect. And now we actually need a place to store the charcoal. There is just coal in the warehouse, I believe. And we need some wood. Eventually I will automate wood, but just don't feel the need to do that now. There's still an abundance of it nearby. And while these guys getting wood, charcoal should start getting made. Here we go, 49. And now we can work on extracting the iron. And we can actually make good tools and machine parts, which do sell for a lot of money. Let's get an ore miner. I call it iron, but it's just called ore. And we don't want to go over the top straight away, as mines do employ a lot of people. Like this little patch right here, 15 workers, which is a bit diabolical. I think it's a worker per tile. It's about 0.8 workers per tile, from what I can see. Might be wrong. But yeah, even something like this is too huge. So I recommend, as long as you don't expand onto the ore, it doesn't use more workers, keeping the efficiency the same. So if you just have a patch with no ore nearby, that's where you should put your storage. And auxiliaries. I will need a lot of these, from what I can see. I'll go for one of these, and probably one more. And that should be good enough. 19, there we go. That's full efficiency now. And our storage just evaporated for some reason. There we go. Yeah, we don't really have a very good deposit here, which is a shame, but can't do much about that. Now, this is quite a journey from our town, making it quite inefficient. What we could do is we could get a hauler, which transports ore, for example, to a warehouse. They kind of just travel long distances, which is perfect for a situation like this. So if we just build that nearby, that's that planned. Now, just for a little bit of decoration, I do like decorating. I don't really know that's too entertaining to watch it. If you go for just a few torches, I'm not really trying to make them evenly spread out for now. We can always just change that later, and I don't know why it keeps placing double, but we have to deal with it. That should do the trick. Until we get like proper infrastructure and paved roads out here, it's gonna be quite a pain. Now we do need more research, 100%. Especially, for example, if we get, where is it? I might be blind. I think I'm blind. I just mentioned something else. For example, we could go down here and get transports, which will make our logistics system a lot better. But that's for another time. Also, the blue research is knowledge, it's not innovation, and you get quite a bit more of it. And that's why they seem to be a lot more expensive. But for now, I still believe our main problem is food insecurity. It's just tempting to make another grain farm. As one day, might be too late. Actually, I've left a few spots here which I could fill in quite nicely. And even if it's not right against the river, it doesn't really matter as long as the fertility is decent. Like the fresh water isn't super maxed out, but it's still fine. I've actually measured that pretty perfectly. 2.96. Yeah, we'll keep that. We'll keep that as it is. Next time we get a grain harvest, we should be able to finish that building. And how is our army looking? They all have a weapon. There's 7 in training archery right now. And they are... we look at the skill. I mean, they're getting there. They're not quite there yet. It does take quite a while to get them up to 50%. And we are actually lacking furniture. Which even means we need another carpentry. Or we need to stop letting people take furniture. I mean, we're not really producing a great amount. I might just invest into another carpentry. As you can probably never have enough of goods for people. If we go into workbench, this should fit in nicely. There we go. Whenever something just fits in nicely, it is a big smile on my face. Along with something like that. They should get to work on that. Our labor is running scarily low, but can't do much about that. They need stone? No, we do have stone, okay. That should be built. And then, what are we lacking? I think the main problem is the distance. Which is completely fair. I mean, they are slowly sending the materials up, it's just kind of a pain. A good way to mitigate the problem might be to put down some temporary housing up here. For example, doesn't need to be any fancy. A longhouse would probably do just fine. We could actually carve it into the mountain. It could be quite interesting from a design point of view. I think that's the size of a house, just a regular one. We go for something like that. I mean, it doesn't help that we have 3 laborers. I think it might be time just to grow our population more, even though we can't really handle it. Well, if we continue the theme that the middle is going to be like the plaza. Making 1 more block of housing. I mean, 15 more homes will probably be enough. And the temperature's at a record low. Good to know. What else could go wrong? And then let's take in up to 150 people. And now we're in Apprentice, so we can make rations. And we can actually make an army now. Meaning we could invade something. However, we are probably the weakest around right now. I mean, if you are going to invade at the start, I recommend invading the towns with the freelance tag. You can see the little flag. That means they're kind of like independent and they're not really part of a kingdom. They don't even really have a king or anything. Which kind of means they're up for grabs. They're never usually too strong either. So that might be a plan to expand eventually. I mean, all of these towns don't really have any more cities either, really. We are surrounded by 3 city-states. But they do have an army of at least 60, which we probably can't handle right now. So that's a plan for the future. Our little army of 20 can't really handle it right now. But now that we have more laborers, we should be able to get ore mining up. Yep, they've started working on it. That's really good. And we can put in these temporary homes, which I was yapping about. I'll have to go for something like that. And then they can rest in these homes if they need to. The guy who works here is of course gonna live here. However, getting food up to him might be a small problem. We are missing more furniture, which is just another great problem. But the wood is completely fine, so it's just that we don't have enough people producing it. Our food stocks keep like fluctuating. I never know if we're perfectly fine or not. Just gotta wait for this to build. 14 pieces of furniture. I mean, that's doable. We can probably plan out some of the actual industry. For example, a smelter. We will need a furnace. Sadly, it does not fit. A little storage, which does not fit either. That should be fine. And something like that. Luckily, we don't really need ore bars for this, so we should be fine just to build it right now. However, I will not hire people for this quite yet, as we do not have ore production. But I will assign a crate just for ore. Probably expand the gold crate too, as we do have quite a bit of it. And we're so close to being built. Come on, game. 3, 2. Come on, game. One more furniture. Oh, there we go. It's being built. Now. I'll just go with the inefficient route. A small brain for the freeze. I'll probably figure it out like by next episode, hopefully. But no, the ore is being hoarded here, so it's fine anyway. It's just not as efficient. And then coming up here to where it's processed into bars finally. And now we finally have bars. Now, one thing that I do want to invest in is our research lab up here. We need 56 bars in order to upgrade the lab, but we also need the tech to actually upgrade the lab, which costs 15, so we're going to need 15 more lab workers, which means that we need another lab. We go for something like that, I believe. I mean, to be fair, we could probably go out another unit like that. And then how many works gonna be enough for? That's 24, which is more than enough. So we'll build this for now, even though it's not really the most efficient layout. Gotta have some variety. And actually, we could probably just... How many more? Do you know what? We don't even need that. I forgot that, we're going to smart remove just to get rid of this real quick. I forgot that we had... This lab was quite big. We could probably just bring extra works into that lab. And we are out of labor. Oh, 165. That should bring us enough people. As we do need 5 people to actually build them the housing. And I messed up. Smart remove. Something's wrong with me today. My brain is not functioning as it should. I do apologize for that. And I'm building out of mud. Oh my god. Well, third time's the charm. If we go back to wood, which apparently we don't have any of, not a problem. There we go, housing acquired. Now, 16, improved lab. Now we just need to wait for the iron to come through. And what we are missing is the ore. So we should get some more miners working on the ore mine. If I would like to push this up to 10. But once again, we need more people, and then food is going to become a problem again. It's quite like a Sisyphus situation, where like one problem just causes another. When you eventually do fix it. But that's just how it is sometimes, and you do have to deal with it. So, housing block number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And how's our orchard doing? We do have 4 animals, so we have doubled in herd size, which is good. And the harvest is just coming, huge. However, I don't really believe that we have a stable source of food for now. So a few more fruits should keep us going. And eventually we should have enough iron for the lab. Now another thing we can work on is we do seem to have a fabric shortage, but we have a lot of cotton, which just means our tailor cannot keep up. Which, not good. So we do need a tailor. The end goal of the game is to just like become fully self-sufficient of importing stuff from cities that I have conquered. Now we're quite far from that stage. We're still at the menial task stage where I just have to manually build all the industries. But we'll move out of it eventually. Just gotta stay patient. Now, as I have less and less riverfront on my farms, I will probably need to invest in aqueducts and water pumps, but still a little while before we do get there. Eventually, we're not too far away from getting nobles. We just need 40 more population. And then when we get a noble, we can probably improve our farming by making them the minister of farming. And you know what, this whole time, I've not really bothered into making a flag or a name. Now, I have thought about this a little bit. And I have not thought about it a little bit. I'm just gonna keep it as the default one. If anyone has any ideas, feel free to suggest them. And I shall implement them. And if you have a flag idea too, you can let me know. 2 out of 9. Furniture is always the problem. Oh, we do have a bunch of pottery now. We'll probably hand out a little bit more to our people. I don't even give our people that much furniture. It's just we're producing like next to none. And food is once again a problem. How much of this herd is left? Not too much, but you gotta do what you gotta do. I can probably expand the road network, as you do have a bunch of stone from digging into that mountain. Right now I'm going for kind of grids, which is definitely the most efficient type of building, but it's not the prettiest. I mean, if you have like curves and stuff, it does look way nicer. But it's a lot more like menial to like place out every single block, and I just don't know if that would be interesting to watch either. I'm not very proficient at editing, unfortunately. I can do basic cuts and stuff like that, but nothing too extreme. Someone died? Maud. Ah, we've got our first death of the village. He got killed while trying to kill a sheep. Unfortunate. I mean, it's kind of natural selection at that point, but that does kind of inspire me to just... We don't even have graveyards unlocked. Well, into the mass grave he goes, unfortunately. Just rotting in there. That's so unfortunate. Do you know what? We could probably fill in the road to the farms too. That is 600 stone though. Should be good though. Yeah, we do have a lot. We're almost there with the iron bars for the lab. Which is more great news, as then we can get a smithy. Well, we all need to research it, I believe. We'll be able to start making tools, weapons, and all of the good stuff. And this guy is sick, unfortunately. We don't really have a hospital quite yet. We do have a little bit of spare research. Nothing really strikes my... Actually, we could probably build a basic palisade around the town by now. We go into fortifications. And a little stone wall couldn't hurt. I mean, you could probably... Don't know if we can include the farms. It would be quite an ambitious project. But we can certainly make a start on it. Just in case we ever do get raided, we have somewhere to back into. So if we that is extremely expensive. 1, 2, 3, 5. And you kind of have to build until deep water, but we'll do that when we need to. So this will be the northern road out of the town. And we could just kind of 3, 4, 5. Do a little southern road. If we match it with a little dirt road. This is a very ambitious project, but it will be worthwhile, I believe. We can just get a stone wall here. No, I don't believe we have that much stone to spare to build all of this. Actually, there is quite a large rock deposit right in the center of town. So we'll let time flow for a little bit. And someone is deranged. They don't look okay, but they'll figure it out. And once again, food is a problem. I took in too many people without thinking about the consequences. I mean, we have a lot of grain, we're just not processing it fast enough. No, this is on the wrong recipe. And I have now just realized that I've built the wrong building. I do not need a tailor, I need a weaver. But I do believe the bakery is more important right now, considering that we have no food. And oven does not fit in nicely, unfortunate. Storage. Slurry oven. And road. I mean, it is shaping up, which is surprising. We might actually have enough stone. We just let the bakery get built. And that should stop food worry for a little while. Now, however, 4 animals is still kind of bad. But once we do fill that up, we should get a lot of eggs, which humans do need. It's one of their requirements. And still need tiny bit more iron or metal. Almost there. And then once we upgrade that, we should get a lot more science from this lab, which would be great. Like, start planning out the rest. I mean, we've got something like that going. I mean, a square would be kind of cliche, but I'm all for it. That's gonna be the road. And if we kind of continue along, go out by 100. No, I went out way too far. If we go grand. The wrong stone wall. Stone wall, we need this one. And I think for the sake of it, I will just include the ranch in the wall. If we go like that, we need 1, 2, 3, 4 more. And boom, crossroad. And then that is the stone wall planned out. Now we are actually finally... Never mind. I was about to say bread is finally stable. But we're not quite there yet. Surprisingly, we probably need another bakery. That's the fruit farm. Oh, we have managed to build that now. And our 4 laborers, it might be a bit of a expensive ask for them to just build the whole wall themselves, but they gotta deal with it. I mean, now that we've got some sort of bitty, like, layout established, I could probably plan things a bit more deeply. For example, should probably make a few main roads, but this middle one will of course be the main road. Now, our people do need a religion, or they would like it, shall we say. So we just extend. I think this area here will probably... I'd rather plan it out once and properly than keep changing it. So this might take a little while. So if I establish that this road here is the limit for farms, so we will not build farms past this road here. I'll build one more like that. I will dedicate. Okay, the north can be dedicated to religion. can probably plan out a few shrines. Now, which religion do we actually want in the town? Because we can't ban religions. Raid security, not too needed. Pastures and fruit. We definitely want tourism. This will just improve our food. I don't really care about submission. I mean, we treat our people fairly well anyway. I think I'm gonna definitely ban animism, or however you pronounce it, as it's quite useless for us. And just to encourage Praetorianism and Arthurianism, I shall build them shrines. Now, they can actually convert religion at a shrine. So while we might only have shrines for now, I will attempt to make churches when we do actually unlock them. But that is basic infrastructure planned out for the town. Of course, our industry will probably carry on going along the middle. Housing down, most likely, and along. Farms in their own little area. And then this like pasture, I'll probably end up moving it. But I do want it to fill up first. So we do have 5. I mean, the more animals we have, the faster it'll fill up. So that's not a problem. And we do actually want some. If we go on the option to make fortifications, we can get steps, which let our people go onto the walls, so our archers can fly from the walls while not being in danger. Which is quite huge. You don't have to go and like face them head on. I mean, that's kind of the point of walls if you think about it. But yeah, no, everything's progressing smoothly. We have fixed the food problem. We have iron, and actually we do have enough metal to upgrade our lab. This will be our first upgraded building. Bonk. And this looks way nicer on the inside now. Like, they have proper flooring, some pots, lighting, and they do make a lot more research now. Pretty much double. So, that in mind, the next upgrade I would like is the warehouse. It isn't actually too expensive. It's just furniture, which we do not really have. But next upgrade I want to get is basic farming. This will just make our farms way better, and we can probably upgrade it one more time. So now food really shouldn't be a problem. We should be good for a long while. And I think that's about it for this episode. It might have been a little bit slow, but my brain's not really functioning today. As always, if you just want to talk to me or anything, my Discord's in the bio. It's pretty much only me in there right now. And thank you very much for watching. All the shrines have actually been built too during the outro. And I hope you have a very fantastic day. Bye bye.